Now it's the things that we thought were conspiracies then are known facts now, and they're thought of in general consensus of things that are just going on in everyday life. How did the tables turn from then to now? It's a new wave. It's a new day. Literally, it's a new day. And by that, those of you who know the terminology understand that we have entered into a new world order. We full throttle, gas to the floor, and I don't think we'll ever go back to saying, "Oh, it's going to be a new world order." No, 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 no. We those days are over. We are officially into a new day. You know, around the time that the Corona thing hit, it was a article going around about Saint Corona, and then it was a simultaneously it was an article going around about the book. Can't think of the name of the book, but I remember the weaponized virus they used was like Wuhan 400 or whatever. And between the book and the article about Saint Corona, there was information about the fact that Corona or the virus being used to re-educate the youth of the world. And the fact that they was going around simultaneously made my mind feel like it was one, it was one piece of information. That's how I pretty much remember it, as one piece of information. But this was a point to where I just wanted to go ahead and process, right? So we processing. Um, we are on like day maybe 23 of protest in America, which is absurd to think that this country is going to continue to stand idly by, sit on their hands, rest on their laurels, any of that shit. Any of that's not going to happen for too much longer, as it pertains to the volatility and the violence that from the country that we understand to be the United States of America. Okay. Funny thing about it is we celebrated Juneteenth, and with that being said, Juneteenth is a commemoration of a certain day. It was a certain day that Confederate soldiers pulled up in Texas and said, "We finna shovel y'all some shit." You know, Bolo, be on the lookout for the game change, right? And that's exactly what they did. They came right up. They rolled up with the, excuse my language, for those of y'all, who are white listeners. They pulled right up with the white man bullshit. Y'all free, but you got to work for the same people. I suggest that you work for the same people. They just been whooping your ass for the past how long? Now y'all free, but I just stay where you at. Stay where you at. Yeah, they was whooping your ass. Yeah, they was raping your women. Yeah, they was murdering your kids. But stay where you at, because you're free now. 400 years later, June 19th. They saying the same exact shit, and we listening. I can't believe the the omnipocated gall of Black America to listen to the same shit they told us on June 19th. What was it? I, it's time. It's been time, right? It's been time. They've been selling the exact same wolf. You free. Stay where you at, though. Even though Master been whooping your ass, raping your women, murdering your kids, stay where you at, because you're free now. We're not going to do it. We're not going to stop you. We're not going to oppress you. You are no longer a sojourner in America. You are officially a civilian in this country. And I do not believe it. Not at all. Now, today I don't believe it. My ancestors 400 years ago did not believe it. They just did not have a way to maneuver their way into a better predicament. This is why we are here today. And the most positive thing I've heard, and don't take my viewing this positive as me being naive. right? Because this is not a matter of me being naive. This is just me being optimistic on the topic. When they said the Black Lives Matter movement is a political party, that was the silver lining. Everything else to me was poppycock. Poppycock. Everything else. None of it really mattered to me. It was just going through the motions to get to a ends, right? Get to an ends. We are not to believe that America is going to change its ways overnight. They will not change their ways overnight. They will not change their ways overnight. 23 days is nothing to the 400 years that they have enslaved our people. I do not believe for 1 second that they will change their ways overnight. But I also don't believe that we have to sit back and accept the fact that because we understand that there's a maneuvering going on, that there's a maneuvering in place, that there is a system being restructured as we tear down the old system. There is a system being restructured as we tear down the old system. We do not have to sit idly and not push our own agenda. We do need to push our own agenda. A reconciliation government agency is bullshit to me. That is absolutely bullshit. We don't want another government function or faction to be ahead of our reconciliation as Americans, as Black Americans that's been here in slavery. Another government function will not help us. It will not help us. We don't believe at all that another government function is going to serve our purpose. No, it won't. No. Mm-mm. So when they talk about Department of Reconciliation, no, squash that. Cut the check. Cut the check. We don't need nobody to say, hey, well, this will help, this won't help. The analytics say, we think if we do this, that'll go farther. Nope, cut the check. Cut the check. Because we know when the Jews, they got their check cut. When people come to this country and they want to set up gas stations and stores, they get their check cut. But we've been right here building and building and building, entertaining, dancing, shucking and jiving, 400, and we want our check cut. We don't want a reconciliation department. It doesn't help us. It doesn't suit our purpose. We still can't talk to them. We have to have a whole nother riot just to talk to that person. It doesn't serve our purpose. So a reconciliation department is absolutely it's pointless. It's pointless. It's just another thing that we'll have to aspire to communicate with that doesn't meet the needs of the people. Will not meet the needs of the people. As far as reparations go, they've been saying that reparations was in the form of the necklaces that the entertainers wear. Because they reached a certain point, that should validate all the rest of Black America that we can also reach that point, but we do not all have the same skill set as those people who wear those necklaces, those people who got those rims, those people who live in those mansions. We do not have the same skill set. We do not have the same ideology. So what they were able to achieve does not represent my reparations, does not represent what my father had to go through, does not represent what my grandfather had to go through, does not represent where I'm at and where my kids are still going to be at because of what happened when my great-great-grandfather was considered a farmer. We don't reconcile that way. We reconcile through direct action. We need direct action. That's the only way to reconcile in America. Cut the check. And furthermore, there are for Black people that are divided, you are the problem. Not that a difference of opinion makes the problem. The inability to compromise constitutes the problem. You only have a problem once you have the inability to compromise, because other words, you have a small obstacle that you can step over. And it's just an obstacle. Because right now what we have is an obstacle. That obstacle is clearly in our sight. We are able to hurdle that obstacle. But because of our differences, we perceive the obstacle as from a different perspective, that's going to be a problem for us.